Hello, everybody. I'll be reading more of the book Arena and Whisper, and sorry to keep you waiting. Breakfast was almost finished when, at the teacher's table, Mrs. Nettles, the head teacher, stood up and clapped her hands together. Silence rippled around around the room as the students turned to face her. I'm sorry to announce that today's lessons are canceled. Mrs. Nettle's lips twitched as everyone to started to whisper excitedly. The teachers and I have decided that the whole school is going on a field trip. Rosa put up her hand. Where to, Mrs. Nettles? To the woods, Mrs. Nettles declared. A ripple of excitement ran around the room. Mrs. Nettles raised her hand and silence fell again. Over the last couple of days, there have been many sightings in and around the school of creatures that don't belong here, she said. In fact, only this morning, a family of purple badgers were discovered near the map in the Great Hall. We need to find out why the animals are coming out of the woods. The plan is for all students to ride to the outskirts of the woods to help conduct a survey of the animals so that we can begin to chart which animals are leaving and why. Only to the outskirts, Mrs. Nettles and Matilda asked. Absolutely, Mrs. Nettles skilled all the students with a stern look from over the top of her glasses. Please remember, there are some extremely dangerous creatures in the woods. Staff may venture further into the trees, but students must stay near the edge. Mrs. Rivers will lead the expedition. After breakfast, please assemble by the lake where you will be given the equipment you need. Arena felt a shiver of fear. Usually the woods were out of bounds to students. Besides her, Matilda was looking excited. No lessons and a trip to the woods. How utterly exciting, she said, pushing her red hair out of her glasses. Rosa was beaming from ear to ear. Another adventure. I can't wait. And guys, I'll also post a video about reading Rosa and her unicorn crystal story, if you want to see that. So chapter 5, Diamond Dorm chattered excitedly together as they finished breakfast. Even Freya, who usually was too busy with her inventions to join in, took part in the discussion. Only Arena was quiet. She really wasn't excited about the expedition. Of course, if there was some reason the animals were leaving the woods, they needed to find out why, but surely a whole school trip needed more planning. But surely a whole school trip needed more planning. Would the teachers be able to supervise them properly and keep them safe? Finishing her breakfast, she told the others she would see them in the dorm and hurried upstairs. If they were going out, she needed to be prepared. Arena, you're looking like you're going away for a week, said Violet when Arena met them all at the stables later. Although she had been the first to the dorm to get ready, she had been so busy packing stuff into a backpack to take with her the things that she had been to. Okay, I'll read that sentence again if it was hard to understand. Although she had been first to the dorm to get ready, she had been so busy packing stuff into a backpack to take with her that she had been the last to get out to the stables. Have you got a spare unicorn? Have you got a spare unicorn hidden in there? Matilda giggled. It is important to be ready for anything, Arena said defensively. What have you got? Said Violet. Rope, a flashlight, some Skyberry chocolate, a fishing net. A fishing net, Matilda echoed. Rosa chuckled. You really are Miss Little Organized, aren't you? Arena hesitated, but to her surprise, Freya came to her defense. Arena's right. It's better to be prepared. We don't know what we'll find in the woods. Excitement and danger, I hope, said Rosa, her brown eyes shining. Arena frowned as she Whisper stall. When everyone was ready, Mrs. Rosemary and Miss Rivers put the students into groups. Mrs. Willow, the school nurse, was there too, giving out sandwiches for lunch, a whistle to call for help if they needed it, and a small first aid kit. Be careful, she was telling the students. I really don't think this trip is wise. She shot an angry look at Miss Rosemary and Miss Rivers. It could be very dangerous in the woods. Make sure you stay on the outskirts. We'll be fine, Miss Willow. Miss Willow, Violet said. Don't worry, Miss Willow huffed and hurried away. Miss Rosemary handed out a list of creatures that they were supposed to check off if they saw them. Diamond Dorm was the last group she came to. Now remember what Mrs. Nettles said at breakfast. She told them as she handed them their list. Please do not go deep in the woods. I know you had a great adventure when you went to the glittering cavern a few weeks ago, but if you go off exploring on your own again, you could get hurt. The woods are dangerous. You're near the edge. Do you understand? Yes, Miss Rosemary, said Rosa with a sigh. We understand. Arena remembered how excited Rosa had been to leading their secret expedition to the glittering cavern last month. They had been trying to find a model taken from the school's magic map that was needed for the map to work again. They had just found it and gotten back safely, but only just. Time to go, called Mrs. Rivers. She led the way on Lady Her Unicorn, who had a stunning gold mane and gold and pink markings. The rest of the school followed, with teachers dotting at various intervals in Diamond Dorm, and Miss Rosemary bringing up the rear. Please avoid the mud, whispered Arena begged, as they followed Matilda and Rosa towards the woods. The other unicorns were splashing through the puddles on the ground. We're probably going to get quite muddy, Arena, said Whisper as he skidded around them. Oh, I hope not, said Arena with a shudder. Hey, come and ride with us, Arena, Matilda called over her shoulder. We're talking about the story. We read in Unicorn Myths and Legends class, said Rosa. Pearl shifted to let Whisper trot up between her and Crystal. About the unicorn and the Cyclops, I love that story, said Arena, forgetting about the mud as she eagerly joined. My favorite part was when the unicorn with golden hooves. Arena broke off suddenly. Coming toward them was a long line of rabbits, their tails flashing white as they hopped along. Where are they going? She wondered aloud. Rosa frowned. They look like they're running away from the woods. I wonder why. Bubbles of anxiety popped in Arena's stomach. What was making the rabbits leave the safety of the trees? Mrs. Rivers halted, lady. Well, here are the woods, everybody. Start looking for animals. If you need help, blow 3 sharp blasts on your whistle, and we'll come find you. Be sensible. We simply need you to know animals you see. Do you understand? Everyone nodded. Then off you go. With the chorus of whoops, the group set off. Race to the trees, Diamond Dorm. Watch out for the rabbits, Rosa shouted as she and Crystal took off at top speed. Freya and Honey chased after them, followed by the rest of Diamond Dorm. So I'll read that again if that was hard to understand. Freya and Honey chased after them, followed by the rest of Diamond Dorm. Not wanting to be left behind, Whisper broke off into a gallop, his mane flying up in Arena's face. Whoa, slow down, I'm going to fall off. Arena cried out. Relax, Arena. You know you can't fall off. The island's magic will keep you safe, said Whisper, and he galloped faster. Arena knew he was right. If she fell, a magical bubble will form around her, cushioning and protecting her. But that didn't help her feel safe as they entered the woods. Falling off wasn't her main concern. It was all the dangers they might face if they went too far in. This is so much fun, said Rosa gleefully, slowing into a walk. I love adventure, said Matilda, taking her sketch pad out and starting to sketch. I vote we go down that path and then start looking for animals, Freya said, pointing to the left. Arena pulled the whistle out of her backpack, just in case she might need it. She glanced around, her eyes scanning for danger. Suddenly, Rose and Crystal stopped. Arena fell forward, banking her nose on Whisper's neck. What are you doing? She exclaimed. Quiet, hissed Rosa. Can you guess what animal it was? Arena looked in front of Rosa and froze on the path in front of them. There was an enormous scarlet horned cobra snake. It reared up, its blue hood spread out wide and its mouth wide open, showing a flickering tongue and pointed yellow fangs. A scarlet horned cobra, Arena breathed. She had never seen one in real life before, but she knew they were very dangerous. The snake was right in the middle of the path. Its tiny black eyes glinted with menace as it uttered a long warning hiss. What do we do? Whispered Rosa. We could turn around, said Arena. After all, we're not supposed to be far into the woods. We can't turn around yet, said Matilda. We've hardly come in any way at all. We've hardly come in any way at all. We could try we could try and trap it so we can get past, said Freya. All we need is a branch with a forked end and a piece of string. Luckily, I brought some string with me. She slipped her backpack off and rummaged inside, pulling out a length of string. Arena couldn't believe her ears. How could Freya even think about catching the cobra? We haven't got time for you to make something, Freya, said Violet anxiously. The snake started to swing menacing from side to side. The unicorn skittered backwards. Steady, Twinkle. She smoothed her unicorn. We need to make it go away, said Rosa. Before Arena could stop him, Whisper trotted forward and stamped his foot at the snake. Shoo! A spark seemed to fly from his hooves, and Arita's nose caught a faint smell of burnt sugar. The scarlet horned cobra shut its mouth and sank down toward the ground. For a moment she thought it was going to do what Whisper had said, but then suddenly it reared up again and struck out. Whisper leaped back in alarm as the snake's fangs missed his nose by inches. It really doesn't seem to want to go, he said, retreating to a safe distance. The snake swayed angrily on the spot. Arena gulped. If only we could frighten it away, said Rosa. But how do you frighten a snake? Said Matilda. They don't like bright lights, said Freya. Light, gasped Arena. She pulled out her backpack off and rummaged for the flashlight she had packed. Let's see what happens when I do this. Taking a breath, she switched on her flashlight and shined it straight into the snake's mean eyes. It recoiled with a hiss and shrank back. It's working, cried Violet with a final hiss. The snake sank into the floor and slithered quickly away. Matilda whooped. Way to go, Arena. That was a seriously scary snake. You were really brave. Arena glowed. Matilda shot a grin at her. Luckily, it wasn't a butterfly. Arena smiled back for once, not bothered by the teasing. That was awesome, Arena, said Rosa warmly. Come on, everybody, she urged Crystal on. They cantered away down the path. The others charged after her. Arena's heart was beating so fast. But although she had still felt nervous, she also felt fired up and excited. She'd gotten rid of the snake. The others thought she was brave. Isn't this fun? Said Whisper, happily to see her as his hooves pounded on the track. Isn't this fun? said Whisper happily to see. Oh, sorry guys. I think I reread it. Okay, I'll read from there, guys. Isn't this fun? Said Whisper happily to see her as his hooves pounded on the track. Arena hesitated. It is, she said cautiously. But I don't think we should go too much further. And she raised her voice. Rosa, remember, we're supposed to stay near the edge of the woods. Rosa slowed down to a walk. I guess, she said reluctantly. We could stop here, said Violet, looking around. There were on a wide path with thick canopy of branches overhead. We could go out. We could get out the list and start taking off the animals we see and eat our sandwiches, Matilda grinned. They all dismounted from their unicorns and took out their sandwiches out of their backpacks. Yum, said Rosa, biting into a ham sandwich. I wish lessons were canceled every day. Arena nibbled the crust of her sandwich. She wasn't that hungry. She didn't like being in the woods, and she wanted to get out as soon as possible. She took up the list out of her bag and started checking off every creature she saw. A squirrel climbing up a branch, a hedgehog in the leaves, a robin in the trees. When the girls had finished eating, they laid on their backs in the grass while Arena perched awkwardly on a rock and kept a lookout. Check crows off the list. Rosa said to Arena, as three huge crows with sharp beaks swooped from the trees to peck at the sandwich crumbs. As Arena put out the remains of her sandwich in her backpack, the largest bird hopped toward her. Shoo, she said, flapping her arms at it. The crow fixed her with a stare and hopped closer. Go on, shoo, Arena clapped her hands. The bird huffled out its feathers and looked at her with its beady eyes. It didn't seem scared at all. Whisper broke off away from the other unicorns and came to stand behind her. He locked eyes with the bird and stamped his hoof on the ground. Go away, he told her. Arena caught a whiff of sweet like burnt sugar. The crow's feathers flattened and backed away. Whisper stamped his hooves again, and Spark flew up. Arena frowned. Whisper, did you just make that Spark? Could it be your magic? She squealed and ducked as the crow suddenly flew up and flapped at her face. It snatched the sandwich from her hand, and with its scaly talons before cawing triumphantly, I think that's how you pronounce the word, and swooped into the trees. Whisper snorted in alarm. Horrible bird. It's taking the rest of my sandwich, said Arena in dismay. That's really weird, said Freya. Birds are usually scared of humans. Arena looked out uneasily. They were rustling in the bushes. Maybe something else was planning to attack them. Look over there, said Rosa. She pointed into the trees. There's something moving, an animal, a large one. What type of animal, said Violet. I don't know. Rosa's eyes gleamed, but I think we should follow it and find out. No, said Arena. We're supposed to stay on the outskirts of the woods. We're not that far in, said Rosa. She hurried over to Crystal. And we're supposed to be noting every animal we see. Who votes we go after it? All the others raised their hands, and the unicorns nodded agreeably. It's decided then, said Rosa bossily. Arena swallowed as they as they all jumped onto their unicorns. She wished the others hadn't voted for Rose's plan. She really didn't want to go further into the forest as Diamond Door went deeper into the trees, trying to catch up with the animal. Rosa had seen the woods become noisy with chatters and squeaks. There were lots of mysterious rustles coming from the bushes, and Arena felt shivers starting to run down her spine. Whisper, said Arena softly. I feel like something is wrong in the woods. What do you mean? Whisper looked around. I can't see anything strange. Arena saw two squirrels watching them from a nearby tree. The squirrels were usually cute, but these two were staring in a strange way. Look at those squirrels! But as Whisper followed her gaze, the squirrels scampered away. They look normal to me, he said. Stop worrying, we're having an adventure. Enjoy it. Arena bit her lip. Maybe she was just being overly careful. Whisper trotted after the others, but just as he joined them, they all heard a loud howling and snaring voice. What is that? Said Pearl, stopping. A wolf and a bear, gasped Violet as the two animals came charging out of the trees. A huge wolf and a gray bear faced each other. The bear had two small cubs with it. The adult animals circled around each other. Teased the bear. They're going to fight, said Frida. We need to stop them, said Violet, her voice wobbling. We can't let them hurt each other. We're guardians of the island. It's too dangerous, Arena protested. The wolf and the bear lunged at each other, snaring and growling. Stop it, Whisper stamped a hoof on the floor. Blue and yellow sparks flew upward. Sorry, guys, that was a big pause. But anyways, stop it, Whisper stamped a hoof on the floor. Blue and yellow sparks flew upward, and the same smell of burnt sugar filled the air. Whisper gasped Arena. It's your mat. It's your mat. It is you making those sparks. So, I guess that's all we are going to read for now, but there's still a lot of the book left to read. So please stay tuned. Bye.